Hello everyone, it's Stephanie again with Coffee Paper Scissors. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm working on another fall themed journal, and this time I'm doing a fabric cover, a soft cover, and I've never done one of those before, so it's been a lot of thinking. I can tell you that much for sure, and it's not done. I have I just thought I'd show you kind of what I'm thinking, but it's not all together. These are not attached. So far it's this. I sewed these together, some scraps I had, and I attached some lace down the side. I intended to sew the signatures in before I did any more work, but I started sticking things in between the pages, and now I'm afraid if I take them out, I'm not going to remember where I thought to put them. So I am just going to get to work on a few pages, and then hopefully I'll be able to stitch the signatures in. This thing is really fat, so I'm hoping it all fits. So I'm just going to move that off to the side, and I have a few things prepared for us to put together. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay. I don't know if you remember, but I made these pockets from scraps the other day, one of my previous videos, and so that's glued down here. And I mentioned previously that I got some freebies from Artymaze, and that I was going to go ahead and purchase one of her digital kits to go with some of the things that were in the freebies, and so I did do that. It was my first purchase ever on Etsy, so that was cool. I have never dealt with digitals before, so my printing didn't turn out well. The size wasn't correct, so there are things that didn't print all the way out. So I'm going to cover up those mistakes. There were several things I just had to throw away, but I've got to learn how to fit her images onto my paper. I think it's because they use a different paper standard size, and so it doesn't fit the US standard size. I think that's what it is. So I have to resize the digital, I think, in order for it to fit on my printer. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I've got to do a little research. Anyway, so this is something that didn't print here, so I'm just going to cover that with some lace. And the digitals that I purchased, I think it was an add-on, but I'll put a link in to her Etsy shop so you can find it. It was mostly, postcards and some labels and things like that. That's what I was looking for. I had plenty of pages to put in my journal already. I was just looking for some things to go with the pages that I already had. So when I was printing, I had intended to print it on cardstock, and I put the cardstock in and the printer did nothing, and it said check for paper jam. So I took the cardstock out, and then it started printing on the regular paper. So I had to back this onto a cardstock. So that's the back of it there, all inked up. So that one's ready to go. And then this was one of the freebies. It's a little envelope, so inside of it I just put a little piece of copy stained paper. I did intend to do some embellishing on this, but I don't know what it's going to be, so I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, so I'm going to put these back on. So that one's, I've got to do something on the pocket. I just don't know what, so I'm going to just turn the page there. Okay, so the next one is this belly band here. Okay, so I have a couple things in there. I'm going to first go ahead and do the journaling card. This one printed right. It was in the middle of the page, so it printed just fine. But again, it's real flimsy paper, so I'm backing it onto some cardstock. I had a friend who was clearing out a lot of her scraps, and she gave them to me. And I thought, oh no, you know, because scraps are such a responsibility. And so she had several things that were just, you know, blank cardstock scraps as well. So that is what this is from. I am using up scraps. And, you know, when I got them, I thought, what am I going to do with some of those colors I wouldn't normally think to buy or use? But, you know, it's because it's at that certain time of year, and you don't think that, you know, you might use it for something for fall. So it's kind of perfect color. So this one I am leaving just like that because I'm going to decorate the belly band up a little bit. I didn't want to do too much on this one. So that, I'm going to slide that in. I know that you can't see it, but I will show you in just a minute. I am going to put this on top of the belly band. It's going to be a little flip. So I already inked it up. I got it all ready for us. I'm going to put some lace on it, just for some interest. A little bit of glue. I had to open up a new thing of Fabri-Tac the other day, and the top was different. It wasn't that screw-on lid. So I'm wondering, since it's so quick off and on, maybe I won't get such a Fabri-Tac mess. We'll see. I don't remember where I bought it. It was, I think, right before lockdown. I happened to go to the store and I knew I needed some, so I got it. I'm going to ink this up just a little bit. It's kind of bright. Just tone it down a little. So it's Saturday and I mowed and everything outside, and I used one of those, I don't know, hedge trimmers and trimmed up a bush outside. I've never used that thing before, so that was kind of fun. Okay, I inked this up already. This was one of the freebies. I did link the freebies to the previous video. Her website where the freebies are. And it's Artymaze again. If I didn't say that already, I think I did. Okay, and then I just have this little Autumn Whispered. And I'm not sure, I think that was part of the purchased digi, so. Okay, now I'll pull the book back over, or part of the book. I'm just going to glue that on top there. So this is the journaling card here. And then I'm going to glue that over the top. I'm going to come in just a little ways because the belly band is thin. I'm glad I realized that before I got too much glue on the back side of that. So then you just have a flip up here that you can journal on. I thought that was cute. Just make sure there's no glue sticking out the sides. I don't think there is. Nope. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. Okay, here. This is going to be a short video today. I have to go cook dinner. So I attached this to the pocket here. Autumn carries more gold in its pocket than all other seasons. Jim Bishop. This was one of the digi-printables. So I did this off camera. I added a little bit of this fuzzy yarn stuff. I did it off camera because I thought it's so fuzzy and I am gonna fight with that, and I did. So anyway, that's some real fuzzy little yarn that I did there. And then I glued so that it's not loose. So that's glued together. And then this is one of the print or digis. I'll go ahead and glue that down. So I don't know if I finished talking. So I was doing yard work and I really wanted to be doing this. I kept thinking the whole time about what I was going to be doing in here in my craft room. There's just not enough time. I always want, you know, summer to come or spring to come so I can start, you know, being out in the grass and seeing the beautiful green grass. And then all of a sudden I have to mow that beautiful green grass. I mean, don't get me wrong, my husband helps me, and we have a really kind of a big yard, and so we all kind of work on it. Okay, this next one is just on the opposite page. So I'm going to move this out of the way. This one's kind of a big one. Lots of little bits and pieces here. Okay, so it's going to be a side pocket with a flip out. So what I did was I cut the paper, you know, whatever size I wanted for my pocket. And then I took my envelope maker and I did the punch, that little punch thing on it to make the tab, and then I cut the rest off. And then so I didn't have a little white edge, I took one of my pieces that I trimmed away from my pages. I'm going to glue that there so when it's closed you can see the paper. And then I used one of my decorative punches down the edge. So there's a little bit of interest on the inside. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue that pocket down. Okay, and then we will go ahead and put a little embellishment on the front. I'm making a little cluster. I think what I'm going to do is build it on the page though, so I can stick this down with the Fabri-Tac. Okay, no. So now I'm going to have a problem with the little lid sticking to my fingers. We'll see. Okay. The one thing about it is if you can stick that lid on real quick, the bubble up shouldn't happen, right? Let's hope. Okay, and I think that I want that to be a little bit sideways on there. I'm going to put the Fabri-Tac in the center of the paper. Yeah, that little lid sticks to my finger every time. And then I'm going to, I don't know if I want it stuck down all the way or if I want it to be loose so it has a little bit of movement. Not movement necessarily, but you know, I don't want it to look pasted down. If that makes sense. With the edges free a little bit, it gives it some dimension. Let's see. I think that's good. So I'm ready for fall, if I haven't said that yet. I want to wear a sweatshirt and not get hot. And I don't know, it's just nice having a change. I think seasons should be 2 months. Who can I talk to about that? Because I do like every season. Living in Washington, we do get every season, Washington State. I live in eastern Washington, so most people think Washington State is rainy because of Seattle. People mostly know, Seattle. But eastern Washington is very dry and warm. We don't get hot real early in the summer, June is pretty cool. August is really hotter than I would like for any day to be in general. So, okay, and then I think that's good. I'm going to move that out of the way for just a moment while we glue this together. This little flower I cut out of a gardening book. I've purchased several gardening books at the secondhand store because there's drawn pictures in the back. I'll show you which one in just a minute. I mean, I'm probably not the only person that's thought of it, so you guys probably all have these books as well. Let's see. I don't know what I want to do here. That's still wet, and so I'm going to quickly put glue around this, and then both the Fabri-Tac and my other glue should hold it down perfectly. Oh yeah, that got it. And then my favorite color is October. Isn't that cute? All right, and so this then goes in this pocket here. So that might be the last thing I had prepared to do. Sorry, I should show you that all done. So then it flips out so you can journal there. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's all I had totally prepared. Let me just check real quick. Yes, that is all that I had totally prepared. I will show you the book. Let me grab it. So it's one of these. Hopefully you can see that okay. Perennials. I'm going to put it off to the side so I can see it in my camera. Perennials, and then the front looks like this. They also, I mean, there's a ton of them. There's roses, there's all kinds of these books, and you get them at secondhand stores. And so at the beginning of them, they have big images, and sometimes I cut those out and use them as a full page. They're just beautiful images. And then there are things where you can cut out these bugs here. They're the pests, you know. We don't want these things, but they're fun pictures, right? Look at all of those fun pictures. But then towards the back, there's pictures with people too. And we could have fun with the people, right? I don't know if you have a shine on it or not. But it is glossy paper, but I think it works okay. Anyway, the ones in the back are... I'm just checking to make sure I'm in frame. So aren't those beautiful? I mean, so every page has... So there's one that I used. Look at all of these, and there's so many of them. Crazy, right? So run out to the secondhand store and grab yourself one of those. Anyway, well, that is all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.